Breaking down everything we know about the Survivor 45 cast. There's nothing that puts a bigger smile on my face than sitting down and talking about the newest players competing on Survivor. Well, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but these Survivor cast assessment videos are always so much fun. We have done these for Survivor 42, Survivor 43, and Survivor 44, making this Survivor cast assessment for Survivor 45 the 4th time I'm making one of these videos. At this point, I'm 100% an expert when it comes to breaking down the cast of Survivor. Survivor Season 45 just recently finished filming and won't appear on TV until September, meaning this is an insanely early cast assessment where we're diving into the darkest corners of the internet to gather as much information on these players as we possibly can. But don't worry, we're avoiding spoilers and boot lists for Survivor 45 and strictly talking about the players on the season using their Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and even TikToks about Survivor.
Who is the toughest man in history? Let me introduce you to Jesus of Nazareth.
Let me introduce you to your boy wearing a bandana.
Drop the 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring in the 5 because we're talking about the Survivor Season 45 cast. And it's super exciting that Bruce from Survivor 44 will be returning and getting a second shot at redemption. Don't worry, we'll be discussing him later in the video.
Everybody stop!
Checking out this sneak peek at the logo for Survivor 45, it's looking like Jeff Probst is wanting to stick with the numbers instead of a theme for the newest season. Remember, no boot lists and no spoilers, simply the Survivor 45 cast assessment and who I think potential winner picks could be. So make sure you stay watching until the very end so that you don't miss out on anyone from this cast of 18 new Survivor players.
It's so important to get out in nature. Listen to the birds chirping, the sounds of the earth.
Without going in any particular order, we're starting things off with Nicholas Alsop. Nicholas will be most likely going by Nico and is 30 years old from O'Fallon, Illinois. Currently working as a martial arts instructor, we can quickly notice from Nico's Instagram account he loves living a healthy and strong lifestyle. Not gonna lie, Nico reminds me exactly of Danny from Survivor 44.
Broaden your attention to your surroundings and slowly start to focus on the breath.
I'm going to teach you how to de-stress through breath. So we're going to sit down just like this. You can stand up, however. But when we breathe in, we're going to start from the low belly all the way up to the chest.
Look for Nico Alsop to be highly competitive in Fiji, helping his tribe to lots of victories early on in the game. I may be looking too much into it, but I don't think he will be winning the $1 million with already promoting his merch online. Next up, also from Illinois, we have Austin Likun. Austin is a 26-year-old business student from Chicago, Illinois, who loves photographing travels and the outdoors. On the Jeff Probst podcast, he mentioned Survivor doesn't cast based on archetypes, but a quick look at Austin's Instagram, you can see this dude will be the next jungle boy we'll be seeing on Survivor.
Different companies come in and they give you a problem that they face. This could be anything to do with their marketing strategy to some financial problems that they're dealing with.
Not to brag, but to get as much information on these players as I can, I follow them all on Instagram, and Austin has already followed me back. So look for Austin to be one of my early winner picks for the season. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram at RussellMuscleTV so we can chat Survivor. Next on Survivor 45, we have Katura Tops. Katura is a civil rights lawyer and uses her policy-centered approaches to dismantle racially discriminatory systems. Katura is 34 years old from New York, New York, already being connected to the Survivor community. Katura is followed by Maddie from Survivor 44 and Survivor All-Star Eliza on Twitter.
It's not the idol.
It is the idol.
It's not the idol.
Yes, it is.
Ozzy must have put it in there. He must have the real thing. That's not the idol.
What is it?
Being a lawyer is an interesting occupation for Survivor, as we've seen a fair amount of them compete on the show, but only twice have they been able to win the game with John Cochran and Nick Wilson.
The winner of Survivor, Nick.
Talking about people from New York, we have Kelly Nalabadin. Kelly is a 29-year-old from New York, New York, and graduated from Yale as a grad student. Kelly's LinkedIn tells us that she now works as a cardiothoracic surgeon critical care nurse. From her Instagram account, we can see she's a big fan of Halloween and the exact kind of person you would think would love to play Survivor, as she has tons of posts being outdoorsy. And obviously a Survivor superfan, she only has a couple tweets, first saying hi Twitter, then possibly sneak peek with how she'll be playing the game, retweeting this photo from Survivor out of context. Jumping into the oldest dude on Survivor 45, we have the only returning player on the season with Bruce Peril. We don't have much to go off of for Bruce, so let's repeat what I said for the Survivor 44 cast assessment. Bruce is 45 years old from Warwick, Rhode Island, and is a Navy veteran and realtor. Right from his Instagram bio, he's a dad with 2 kids and a devoted husband. Now, obviously, we have a little more info on Bruce than the rest of these players, as he did compete on Survivor 44. We honestly still don't have much, but what we do know is Jeff Probst seeing crazy potential for Bruce, and that's why he was invited back so soon in the first returning player in the new era of Survivor.
Hi, this is Bruce from season 44 of Survivor. I am a realtor and getting ready to go into the game after being such a big fan.
Maybe highlighting the type of Survivor player I would be, but I think it would be low-key hilarious if Bruce's tribe would vote him out first on the season. It's gonna be super interesting to see how Bruce performs playing in back-to-back seasons of Survivor. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you know another dude that played back-to-back seasons of Survivor is my arch nemesis, Russell Hantz. I'm on a mission to pass Russell Hantz and be the most subscribed to Russell in the Survivor community. If you're enjoying this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below. And when we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm gonna make a dedicated video interviewing Russell Hantz. Going from the oldest male in Survivor 45 to the oldest female in the cast is 49-year-old Julie Alley. Julie is a few years older than Bruce and feels pretty old in a fairly young cast of Survivor players. It's tough because we have nothing to go off of with Julie Alley having 0 social media, but it's always a toss-up on how older players will do going into Survivor. I could see Julie either being the first person voted out of the season or someone making the final 5 like Heidi from Survivor 44.
My plan is to not tell anybody, but this is real and I'm extremely excited. This is like a bucket list item and I'm extremely happy.
Moving from the oldest female to the youngest female of Survivor 45, we have Jay Maya. Jay is a 23-year-old singer from the California Bay Area. It's definitely important to note that Jay has the largest social media following with anyone on the Survivor 45 cast, with almost 100,000 followers on Instagram and 20,000 followers on YouTube, with the biggest videos on her YouTube channel all being her official songs. She also has other videos simply breaking down her favorite books.
Hi everyone, it's Jay Maya here with the best books that I read in 2022. I am so excited to be filming this video. I filmed this video for 2021 last year. Math.
I like a lot what I see from Jay, as it obviously takes tons of hard work to get to where she's at in the music industry. However, I don't like the fact that she's coming into Survivor as a 23-year-old. If she was just a little bit older, I could have easily made her one of my winner picks. Next up is Drew Basil, and going from the youngest girl to the youngest dude, we see Drew is only 22 years old from Birmingham, Michigan, and is a grad student. This is literally all the information we have on Drew, as he's private on Instagram, but I'm gonna give him a follow and see if we can get more information soon. Surprisingly, moving from one 22-year-old with Drew Basil to another 22-year-old, we have Brando Meyer. Excitingly, we do have a little bit more info. He's from Seattle, Washington, and is a software developer. His Instagram bio reads pizza enthusiast, so hopefully Brando gets a pizza reward on Survivor.
Okay, I'm eating. I don't care right now.
It's just crazy.
I don't care what everyone else thought back at camp. Rewards are huge for your game.
I can easily clump Brando and Drew together as the young nerd Survivor superfan archetype on season 45, and if Carson is anything to go off of for how these players will perform, we can expect them, or at least one of them, to make it deep into the game.
When I got the call that I was going to be on Survivor on August 13th at 4:56 p.m., I immediately started preparing.
Brandon Dolan is the next player on our list and is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Brandon Dolan is a 25-year-old content producer who is good friends with Randy Bailey in real life.
Randy, tribe has spoken.
I'm hoping that starting the game we won't have Brando and Brandon on the same tribe, as that will get so confusing so fast. Brandon is obviously a huge Survivor superfan and is self-aware enough to make his Instagram bio all aboard the bandwagon.
You enjoy the name Michael, but you're also like, we don't need another Michael. What about Rupert?
Yeah! and we are officially crossing the halfway point of the Survivor 45 cast with D'Angeli's Valderadres. But if you would like to see a video discussing the try breakdown of Survivor 45, make sure to like this video. If this video gets 250 likes, I'll make it happen. Anyways, Diana Lees is a 26-year-old in sales development from Miami, Florida. She'll most likely be using the nickname D in the game and has an Instagram account with over 13,000 followers all about working out.
When the weight becomes too much, you'll drop the pole, you're out of the challenge. Last person left standing wins reward for their try.
Assuming the new era Survivor format will be staying consistent with Survivor 45, I think it's safe to say D will be making it to the merge with their physical strength. Moving into Hannah Rose, who is a 32-year-old counselor from Baltimore, Maryland. Hannah is keeping things low-key before the start of Survivor 45 with no posts on her Instagram account, but something about having pizza in her profile picture makes me think we'll be seeing a pizza reward this season.
I don't like her and don't want her to eat pizza and have a cool adventure.
I'm excited to announce Survivor 45 will have a Canadian participant on the season. Maybe a little conspiracy theory, but after the Canadian domination in the new era with back-to-back Canadian winners with Erica and Marianne, and having Kane make the merge in Survivor 44, I think it's safe to say Caleb Getterbold will do really well in Survivor 45. Caleb is a 28-year-old sales and marketing coach from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. We don't have much to go off of for Caleb, only a single tweet saying don't waste your good stuff on me. Sabaya Brolrick is a 27-year-old from Decatur, Georgia. And funny story, as when the Survivor 45 cast was first leaked, Survivor fans on Twitter were complaining that we weren't seeing enough average everyday people on the cast and that we need more truck drivers on the season. Yet to announce Sabaya, who is in fact a veteran as well as a truck driver. The next player is Emily Flippin, and this individual is an investor with Motley Fool. Emily is a 28-year-old from Washington, D.C. and works as a financial analyst, which fits perfectly as being an investor with Motley Fool. Emily's goal is finding maximum upside growth opportunities when investing, as the Motley Fool Twitter account has over 800,000 followers. Next up is Jake O'Kane. From Hanson, Massachusetts. I just gotta pause for a second and say every season I struggle with saying the word Massachusetts. Anyway, Jake O'Kane is a 26-year-old law school grad who recently took the bar exam and got in great shape to play Survivor. I'm not the biggest fan of how much of an emphasis is placed on physical strength early on in the new era of Survivor, but because I don't think that will be changing going into this season, it's safe to say Jake will be making it to the merge. The last female we must talk about is also from Massachusetts, with Kendra McQuarrie. Kendra is 30 years old and a bartender from Salem, Massachusetts. The only social media I could find is her Twitter account with a single tweet from 2011. And the final player on the season 45 cast is Sean Edwards, who is a 34-year-old school principal from Provo, Utah. Anyway, click right here for another update on Survivor season 45.